So there's permanent large bases, which you'll see sort of depicted here in red, which are U.S. only. So we've got, we've got Al Udeid in Doha, Al Dhafra. We've got major bases in Kuwait, stuff further away in Turkey and whatnot. And then you'll see the black dots that are here, and those are joint bases, particularly the ones of concern for where people have been speculating they might hit. Again, we talked about this the other night, Baghdad, Kurdistan, up here along the Kurdish-controlled areas in Syria, along the border, which is of concern. But the U.S. has flexed assets in. So we have fighter jets that originally were in the UK the other day that have now been flexed in the region into Jordan. We've got fighters across the region at different bases that are there. We have 2 aircraft carrier battle groups, one that was there, one that was brought in from the Pacific. And then very shortly, I think next week, what we're going to have is we will find ourselves with an additional carrier battle group, which will be just about here in the Western Mediterranean, and then that can flex in to give General Kurilla at CENTCOM an additional capability should he need it. So massive amount of firepower has been brought in. Air defense systems protect U.S. troops. It's clear that the president's giving a 2-week window maximum, as he said today. I don't think the Israelis can withstand these ballistic missile attacks for that long, to be honest, because they're getting through the multiple warheads. If he does decide to pull the trigger, if the president determines that's the right policy, we have the firepower to take it out, and we have the firepower to defend U.S. troops. And the regime would be in very, very poor decision-making if they decide to attack the U.S.
The big worry, obviously, for Americans, for the American military, is retaliation. Iran says it's going to be able to retaliate in a major way if the United States joins. What would that look like? What would they strike? I mean, you've got the Strait of Hormuz there, which is extremely important to the world when it comes to what a quarter of the world's oil goes through that strait.
Right. So in terms of oil and closing off the straits, as you're mentioning, the Straits of Hormuz, right over here, and you've got the ability to control. It's sort of a strategic choke point. There's 2 shipping lanes that go through there. If they were to put littoral mines in the water, like water mines or something else, or try to close it with ships, you have to worry about, obviously, the operators with the ships, but then also the insurance companies with riders on the boat. So are they going to let the boats through? How long do you have to wait till the water's clear? There's a whole bunch of dynamics there, but it doesn't help them from a financial perspective. It just kind of causes chaos and, quite frankly, would piss off all the neighboring countries because that's the main, economic mainstay. But likely targets would be U.S. in Iraq and Syria, potentially. And then you could theoretically hit in the region. The U.S. has pulled the ships out of our ports in Bahrain, where the fleet's based out of. We've also moved fighter jets that was widely reported out of non-hardened bunkers in the area to make sure that they're safe. So the Iranians have ballistic missiles. The Israelis have taken out somewhere around half to 2/3 of the launchers, which is why they're having trouble getting them off. But there's probably 1,500 to 2,000 missiles left at that point, and they could be holding some in reserve, not only for a counterstrike, but more importantly, regime survival. Because at the end of the day, that's all the authoritarians care about. They want to survive.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹润。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美丽。美吧。